All right, we're on, man.
All right, man. There's no need for introductions and shit, is there?
No, probably not.
All right. Well, I don't know how to start other than to say that I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to catch up, have a bit of a chat, and maybe shout out some of the guys and dish out some mid-season awards.
Yeah.
You guys want to get stuck into it?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I've sort of sent you guys a document. I've got to try and find it now. Do we want to maybe each of us just take one award and just sort of read off the nominations and have a bit of a chat about it?
Sure.
All right. Let's start off with the first one, number one. That's the Shefty. That's going to be for the league member that has contributed the most on Facebook. Nominees are
Joe.
Smoking Joe Camel, Mr. Colby the Canuck, and Mike Mozilla. Anthony, who you got?
Well, I think there's no question it's Joe, in my opinion. I think the other two guys, Colby and Michael, are very strong nominations, but Joe's just consistently on posting stuff, and I know a lot of it's sort of like a regurgitation of news, but it's sort of occasionally spikes or gets people talking, and that's always good. What do you guys think, Tony?
Yeah, I definitely got to be Joe. He was the guy who didn't want to be on Facebook at first. Now he's the guy we can't get off of Facebook.
Because and so for the record, yeah, Joe has got my vote as well. When you see that first post come from Joe on Facebook, whether it's in the middle of the day or whatever, you're getting ready to get 5, 6, 7 more consecutive right after that. So you just go ahead and kill your alert on your phone because it's getting ready to go off 6 or 7 more times. But congratulations to Joe for the Shefty Award. Congrats, man.
Yeah, congratulations, dude. That was great. I can do the second one, I suppose. We're calling it the Tourist. So it's for the league member that's not from the United States or Canada, but who has performed the best in League of Titans. I've got 3 nominations: Paul, Jonas, and Christian.
Throw yourself in there. There's only 4 of you.
Yeah, I had to abstain. You can't put yourself in the bloody award thing, can you? I mean, for
you got an award. You have an award, sir.
I can't wait. Look, for my vote is Paul. He's one of those quiet guys, very quiet, quiet achiever. He's just going about his business, and he's kicking some tail this year. And what do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. Paul's he's got a really good team in the League of Titans. Jonas and Christian were the other nominees. Their teams aren't doing too well. They're kind of on the bottom of the league right now. But Paul's team is rocking out. I think he has, if he's tied for the best record in the league with Doug, I think. So he's right there, man. He's doing really good this year.
Yeah, Paul's got my vote as well. And he wasn't the one that did the auto draft. He was actually at the draft, right?
Yeah, he was. He was there. Yeah.
Yeah, big congratulations to Paul on that one.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the third one, Tony?
Yeah, so the third one is called the Car Salesman. For the league member, most actively trading and occasionally trying to polish up and turn to sell.
So that was a typo. It was occasionally trying to polish up a turd.
Oh, is that?
Sorry, my mistake.
So the nominees were Mr. Trade Bait himself, Jonas, Mr. Mazzilli, who's a trading machine, and me, who probably offers up the most trades of anybody per week. But my opinion, Jonas is like the car salesman because he likes to. It very rarely does when you send him an offer, does he immediately agree to it. You have to really go back and forth on some messaging with him to come to terms. But I'd probably say I was the craziest person about trading. I don't know. I think I've already had 9 trades already this year in the League of Titans. But Mike has 8, so he's right there behind me.
Wow.
Whatever you guys think, I don't want it. Whatever.
That's a tough one. I mean, so Jonas has the most, or you have the most?
No, Jonas puts all his players on the trade block.
Yeah.
He updates his trade block every week, and there's always like a list of 15 names on it. But
Right.
I have the most trades. Me and Mike
Yeah.
do.
Well, yeah, so I guess my vote's going to have to be Tony for the most trades. I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to say because we don't know, who's willing and dealing between the two. We only know what the final proposals are when it comes up for the poll.
Yeah, about 90% of the time it's me.
Tony's got my vote. I mean, Tony's got my vote. Anthony?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm leaning towards maybe Jonas taking the award. He is
the car salesman.
only because when I think of a car salesman, I think of a guy who's occasionally a little difficult to deal with in the negotiation stage. Someone who's always trying to extract maximum value and occasionally trying to pull a bit of a shifty. So, yeah, I'm sure we've all had that experience. We've gone to a car salesman who sort of says, "Oh, how much are you looking to spend?" And you'll say, "I don't know, $30,000." And he'll point you towards the shittiest car on the lot. And then he'll say to you, "But you'll need paint protection, won't you?" Which you know is an absolute farce. And you'll say, "No, I don't want paint protection." And he goes, "No, you need it. You'll need to pay an extra $5,000 for that," and so on. Before you know it, he's trying to polish up a beat up sort of ute with rust buckets, and it's just I kind of find Jonas is a bit like that, Invariably, every time I reach out to him for a trade, there's always someone else dealing with him in relation to that player. I can't be the only one that experiences that. You know what I mean? I must admit, like, I kind of laugh at myself and think, oh yeah, it's the phantom negotiator at the other end.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's true. Like, hey, what do you want for this player? Well, oh no, I got another offer on the table. Your offer is pretty good, so you're gonna have to come up with something pretty good if you want him. So, yeah,
Man.
Yeah.
Jonas is always looking for that sweetener of a deal.
Yeah,
Jonas.
It's all part of
get
it.
it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I think Jonas. I mean, there's a difference between an active trader and a car salesman. I think Tony's definitely probably Tony and Michael probably, or maybe even Colby, one of the most active traders, always fielding offers, always putting out offers, all that sort of stuff.
Well,
But there's a difference between that and sort of, I don't know, trying to sell snake oil. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, in this league, it's really hard to improve your team. But so because there's no waivers, the waiver wire is so thin usually. So the only way to improve most of the time is through trades. So
yeah, when you got 25 to 30 people on a roster and you get 10, 12 teams, it's slim pickings out there. So you have to will and deal.
yeah,
Congratulations, Jonas. You got that. Got the car salesman.
the car salesman. I'm sure he'll be thrilled with that one.
Next up is the tissue box.
Yeah.
And this is for the league member that most actively cries about his team and season. So theoretically, there should only be 2 nominees for this fucking award, but somehow or another, I ended up in that bucket. But Colby, Anthony, and myself are nominees. I'm gonna have to nominate Anthony just because weekly basis his feelings just seem to pour out over the interweb about how shitty his life is with his team being as shitty as it is.
Soulless husk.
Yeah. Hey, the soulless husk of a man whose team has no future whatsoever. You might as well just shove a hot steak up his ass or whatever. Went on and on. Now, don't get me wrong, Colby. He had some bad things to say about himself, and he poured his feelings out about his shitty team. But Anthony's definitely got my vote. Tony.
Yeah, Anthony gets my vote too because of the woe is me. I drafted 2 quarterbacks in the first 5 rounds. Woe is me. Now Colby, on the other hand, his team, I don't know if he complains about his team, but he's had like half of his team's on IR.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think that's fair.
Colby's team, he'd have a pretty good team if it wasn't for the injuries. But I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. But Anthony's got a good team too. I mean, you're right there. You talk like your team is in last place, but you're right there at 500. 6 teams make the playoffs in this league. You're right there. You're right there, competing for a spot. I mean,
I nominate David. I think because I can't defend myself. I got nothing else to say.
All right. Congratulations. Congratulations,
it looks
Anthony.
like it's unanimous. Yeah. All right, I'll get the golden tissue box then. Maybe I'll read out the next one then.
Yeah.
It's the golden condom. It's for the league member that seems to get lucky every weekend. So we've got 3 nominees. We've got our friend Mr. Flores, Doug, and Richie. Now, I must admit, Doug and Richie have reasonably good teams, in my opinion. Tony's got a reasonable team, but somehow, in matchups when you expect him to perhaps have more competition, he seems to skate through. I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. What do you think, David?
Well, you know exactly what the fuck I think. I mean,
we've heard about it. Yeah.
That lucky bastard over there in Texas just seems to keep churning out the wins. I mean, with no effort. Don't get me wrong, Richie and Doug both, they acquired those teams. They didn't draft those teams themselves. I mean, they got those teams either through auto draft or, however, but they've been able to wheel and deal and pick. Now, I don't know if you want to call that luck, but I know for damn sure that Tony Flores has my vote for that lucky ass golden condom award.
I mean, to give you some examples, I think first time around he battled me in League of Titans. He was down. What was it, Tony?
Oh yeah, I was getting blown up
40
by like
points.
Yeah.
And then that's the one and only week his quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger gets like 5 touchdowns or whatever the hell it was. I mean, no one would have expected that. So it was an easy win for him. Last week he battled Brandon. And did you have a couple of players on bye, Tony?
Yeah, I had just about my whole team on bye.
He still won.
I picked up DeJuan Harris off the waiver wire, and he got me 20 points.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good pick.
But
you see what I mean?
fairness, Brandon's team was on bye week too. I mean, we both had a lot of guys on bye week last week. But Brandon's going to be right there competing for the Sacco. His team's pretty rough. But as far as Richie and Doug, yeah, they both inherit those teams. Richie's team he started out real good. He was like 4-0, I think, and he's really come back to earth. Yeah. I think he's like 5-4 now. So, and then Doug's got a real good team. So,
yeah, but Doug's whole team is like fucking all Detroit, right?
No, that's Richie's team.
Oh, Richie's team is all Detroit. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why his team's falling back, and Doug's team is pretty good. I think he has Drew Brees and he has Gronk and I forget who else. He has a pretty good team.
Yeah. But Anthony, you see what Tony's doing, right? He's trying to detract from obtaining this award. So you need to set him straight here, sir.
No, he's getting the award. He's getting, he's getting the award whether he likes it or not.
I'll be the lucky bastard.
He'll claim it's skill.
You remember after 3 weeks, I was like the only team without a win still. Everyone's all rubbing it in. You suck, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. 6 weeks later, running shit.
Money.
No, I
Money.
still think you suck.
Okay, guys, positivity. We got to stay positive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. All right. Let's see. We got the next one is the Jalapeno Award. For the league member that has brought some heat on Facebook exchanges. Well, gee, this could be quite a bit of people. But
yeah. Well, just name them all. What do you think?
The nominees that we have written down here is Colby, Joe, and Mike. And I think those guys, Mike and Joe, obviously, they don't see eye to eye exactly. Dumb fuckers.
I'm sorry.
Joe can't even fucking. I tried to rile Joe up on Facebook, and I can't even do it no more. You know, he's all fucking Marzilli fucked and ruined it for all of us.
Oh, God.
And then obviously Colby talks about the most shit there is on Facebook. So my nominee would be fucking Colby. For that one.
Anthony.
Yeah, it's highly contested. Because I think we've all had a bit of a salty moment on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we could even put ourselves, Tony, there with some of our exchanges with Colby in relation to his Melvin Gordon love.
Fucking Melvin.
I don't know. So I'm sort of leaning towards Michael, only because you can sense when he goes off on Facebook, man, he puts it all in text. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't hold back. And I kind of get the sense that when he's typing away, he's probably jamming away at that keyboard or the phone, you know, so angry and pissed off. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I'm still leaning towards Michael. What do you think, David?
Well, the award says that the biggest heated exchange. So, you know, I have to go with Joe, and the only reason why I say that is because
different people.
I mean, because Joe is like he'll talk shit with you, right? But then when you really piss him off, he's just like he goes ape shit, and you know, Mazzilli does the same thing. Colby's got a little bit of sense about him. He kind of holds back, but it's hard. It's a toss-up between Marzilli and Joe, but I mean, at the end of it, I got to go with Joe for the most heated. That puts it at a 3-way. I guess we'll have to put it in the poll. Make it a poll question on the page.
Put all these up for poll on Facebook, and everybody can vote on what they want. It's all in fun. It's all bullshit. But
except for the Golden Condom Award, that's not bullshit. That's based on fact. Come on, Tony. We got 3 years worth of data.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He says.
Yeah, absolutely right. You got 3 years of data.
Oh shit. Who's got the next one?
How about you, Dave? Why don't you have a crack at it?
Thank you.
The beloved.
This one is the Beloved Award, and this is for the league member or members that has the biggest bromance on an NFL player. So the nominees are Richie, Tony, Mazzilli, and Colby. Yeah, cheap for Zeke, exactly. See, that's a toss-up between Tony and Mike, right? Because, golly, I've heard Colby all up in Aaron Rodgers' asshole too.
Kobe's like the leader of the Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, and Melly. But I've also heard Richie talk about Stafford too, right? I mean, he's like Stafford's.
Stafford and Amir Abdullah. And
That's right. He's the fluffer for both of those guys. I forgot about that. Wow.
Well, what do you think about it? Look, I got to throw in Richie. My vote's for Richie. He's the only one on that list that was even daring to suggest that Matthew Stafford should be in the MVP talk. At least the other guys, they're open about their love for their players, but they're not putting them up on a pedestal and saying they should be the most valuable player of the league.
I am.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say my vote's going to be for Tony because he is he's Zeke's fluffer, his manager, his ass wiper, Tony's got my vote.
And for whatever reason, I can't get the guy on my fucking team. But, I offered him Marzilli a few weeks actually, I offered him David Johnson and Dak, I think.
What?
And that was about a month ago, I think. And that was for Jordy and for Zeke. And he's like, no way. And then I ended up getting Jordy a couple weeks later anyways. But whatever. But
so, who's your vote for?
Who's my vote for? I'm not going to vote for myself. But
you should.
I should. I do. I've been fucking repping for Zeke ever since he came in the league. That's my boy from Ohio State. And now he's on the Cowboys, so I'm going to root for him like a son of a bitch. But Richie, he's all in on those Lion players. And Matt Stafford sucks. So do the fucking Lions.
Oh, here we go.
Fucking Amir Abdullah and all the rest of them blow ass. And I want my $20 and I want my case of beer, Richie.
Ooh. All right. Well, it seems like it's Richie, but it'll be interesting if we put it on a poll. What the rest of the guys think.
Yeah.
It's Melly or die, he says.
Oh, is he watching it?
I don't know.
I guess he's watching it.
Fuck Melly.
Yeah, there's one viewer. He's on. He's watching it.
All right.
Kobe
Fair
is.
enough. All right. Is it my turn to read one out? Yeah, it probably is. The turtle. Okay. For the league member that's retracted into his shell the most after all the shit talk at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
so
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. You haven't got that one?
No.
Number
Okay.
8.
Well, I've got here 3 nominees so far.
Let me see.
I've included David, although I don't think he really spoke a lot of shit. Anthony and Colby. Is anyone else, David, you'd put on that list?
Who started out talking shit, now they've kind of backed out. Nah, maybe Joe, but not really, because
no.
Oh, fuck yeah, Joe.
Yeah, because he started out hyping up his sea chickens, and now he's kind of.
Yeah, when his boy Wilson went a month without throwing a fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
On Facebook about it.
I don't know. Maybe my vote's gonna have to be for. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Anthony on this one. This is Anthony's shit because he was all kangaroos and crocodiles, and now it's now it's I'm a soulless husk of a man.
Oh wow, that's brutal, David. That's brutal.
Oh, and I mean it all in the most positive way, Anthony.
With all due respect.
Yeah, with all due love and honor.
That softens the blow somewhat. Man, I really don't know. I'm leaning. So I'm kind of leaning towards Colby, only because he was really confident in his team, and he went so far as to say that his team and Tony's team were the two best in the league. Now, unfortunately, he's been ravaged by injury, which has kind of sort of blunted his enthusiasm for the season. But you can see how he was really excited at the beginning of the year, and maybe now not quite so much.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Tony? Who would you nominate?
I'd nominate fucking Joe.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Joe, the whole summer before the season, with his endless memes about Tony Romo and about my beloved Cowboys and all the bullshit he talked. And then Mike laid into him, and now he's kind of quiet. But
Joe, if you watch this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to nominate you.
Joe knows. I like Joe. He's a good dude. He does a lot for Facebook.
Yeah.
But he did run his mouth. So I enjoy watching his sea chickens suck, and he knows they're a bunch of dirty cocksuckers. So
Jesus.
but good old Joe, it gets
another good poll question.
yeah, that'll definitely need to be a poll.
You open up these for a poll, we're gonna get a lot of people blabbing on Facebook.
Well, that's the whole objective of Facebook, isn't it? To get people talking. So yeah, that should be interesting. I dare say I'll probably get a fair few votes, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these poll questions, everyone's going to nominate each other. They'll be like 12 candidates for each award. It's stupid.
Oh, shit.
All right. Should we move on to the next one? What do you reckon?
Kobe's watching. Way to go, Kobe.
Hell yeah. Who's got number 9? Tony's got number 9.
Okay. Number 9. The roster whisperer.
Yeah.
For the quietest league member that seems to just, what is it?
Set his roster.
Just set roster and not interact. Our nominees are Paul, Doug, and Brandon. I'd like to nominate another guy who I think the winner of this would be.
It's going to be Christian. Who?
Chris.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
I was going to say, he's very rarely heard on Facebook, and he's the only person in the league who hasn't completed a trade. So he gets my vote. I thought we all thought that he was Jonas 2. Jonas just had 2 accounts.
Jonas
just made his name. He's like, oh, this is Chris. Yeah, he's my make-believe friend. But yeah, we don't ever hear much from Christian, but he'd get my vote.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'd say is you can tell, like I've sort of interacted with Chris on Facebook Messenger a little bit, and I get the sense that his grasp of English probably isn't at the standard where Jonas's might be, so that might be limiting his interactions on Facebook a little bit. So that at least is kind of justifiable.
Yeah.
But my vote would almost be Doug, I think, only because of all the guys, he's probably the one that's maybe responded or posted the least.
He did that one video though, right?
Yeah, he
did. He did right at the beginning. Yeah, that's true.
Brandon's another one we haven't really heard much for, but he did a couple chats with us before.
Right, he's done a couple of events.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Paul, just because. Yeah, Paul, because he's too busy having sex and drinking beer.
Yeah.
Paul's pimping.
He's too busy chasing tail to bloody interact with the rest of us. Lucky bastard. All right. Well, that's all I had, guys. Did you guys have any other award ideas that you could think of?
I had a couple. One with the what I say it was Who's hold on. Let me go back.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I thought that was a good one. The team with the most potential for 2017.
Yeah, it's this wait. Oh yeah, the Door is Open Award. It's a team
Okay.
who's got the who basically I was thinking who has the most draft picks for next season.
Oh, really?
Who has the best the breakout rookies already on their roster for next season. Who has the most potential. So my nominees were going to be me, one, because I've got like 10 fucking draft picks for next season, and Anthony, because his whole fucking roster is rookies. And the third one was Colby, because at some point all his people have to get better for next season. Those are my 3 picks.
Yeah, pretty good. Colby doesn't have any draft picks, if I remember right, though.
Yeah, but all his people are fucking beat up, and hopefully by next year they'll all be healthy again in time.
Well, yeah, but he has Doug Martin, who's always hurt as it is. He's had like 2 good years out of the 6 years he's been in the NFL. And then he does have Hopkins, who unfortunately has Brock Osweiler as his quarterback. And he has Odell. He does have a good team. But
He does.
But I don't know if they're young guys. I mean, yeah, Odell but they've both been in the league for 3-4 years. But yeah, I know Dave has a shit ton of draft picks. Do you have any rookies on your team this year?
I had 5, but now I've only got 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I know my team is probably the oldest fucking team. I got Tom Brady, who's going on 40. I got Adrian Peterson's 32 or whatever.
And that leads us to the second. That leads us to the other award, the Starstruck Award, and that's for the person whose team thinks it's 2015.
All right.
Who are the nominees for that one?
I didn't have any nominees. I just thought about it.
Well, I should have prepared for that one.
Yeah. I don't have nothing for that one.
Yeah, I need to look at it actually. I don't think no one sort of jumps to mind as having nothing but being really heavy on veterans, I don't know. I need to have a look at the roster. I can't think of anyone. As for the next year, who the hell knows, man? I mean, if anything, this year's shown that fantasy changes from year to year real quick.
Yeah.
So we might be thinking, Doug will be likely to have another great year next year, and his team might tank. Who knows?
Right.
And it goes a lot by injuries and shit like that.
Yeah.
But as far as like young potential guys, a lot of the rookies this year just aren't panning out. I mean, like everyone, we were all big on Treadwell. He hasn't done shit. Really, I think like the only 2 rookies off the top of my head that are skill position players are Zeke and Michael Thomas for the Saints.
You can't forget about Shepard for the Giants.
Oh, there you go. He's another. Yeah, he was a good one. Yeah, and then Prescott.
Yeah, Dak.
And Wentz.
Yeah, as far as from a fantasy perspective, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
other than that, I mean, those are the only ones that have been relevant this year. Or no, the tight end for San Diego.
Hunter Henry.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think Corey Coleman's done well. There's a few players.
Yeah, Corey Coleman.
Derrick Henry just hasn't had his chance. Tajay Sharp sort of flashed early and done nothing. Will Fuller, same, flashed first couple of weeks and then kind of fallen into a bloody dark pit as a result of Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Howard. So there's a few players that are sort of flashed, but none as consistently maybe as Ezekiel Elliott. But with all that said, man, a lot of those players are fighting, roster depth or shitty quarterbacks or just shit like that, So
what about that kick returner from last week on Miami? We were just talking about.
You're talking about Kenyon Drake?
Yeah, Kenyon Drake. What do you think about him next year? No, yeah.
he'll be a rotation guy at best. I think Miami's going to keep Ajayi as their running back, but they're definitely going to look to add somebody next year. I think next year's draft has like 4 or 5 pretty good running backs coming out. So, running back position changes from year to year on who's going to be a bell cow, who's going to be in a a committee or whatever.
Mm.
So, I don't know if he'll ever be a guy who consistently at least gets 12 to 15 carries. He's just going to be a gadget guy probably. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
yeah, that's about right.
Where do you guys want to take it next? What do you guys want to do?
Well, we just did the rookie shit stains.
Yeah, the rookies. I mean, yeah, we were going to do a little mock draft, weren't we? But
we could, but we don't have to. We can even just talk about what we've learnt so far this year, or if you guys want to do that.
I want to talk about the biggest fucking busts of the season. Ones that we just knew were going to fucking just blow it up, but have went.
there's probably been a few of those.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
I gotta say it, man. I've been really disappointed with my.
Are you gonna say your buddy?
My Cam. I don't know what's going on with him, guys. He's really let me down this season. I really thought that he was going to be, thought it was just going to be a continuation, a perpetuation of last year and cranking out the touchdowns. But this last game, I mean, he just looked flat. And
I think it has to do with their O-line a little bit.
Mm.
And Stewart's, I just not big into Jonathan Stewart. If they can get a legit running back in the draft or something, and if they can build on that offensive line, everyone thought Cam was going to come into this year because he's getting Kelvin Benjamin back, and he's going to throw for 40 touchdowns or some shit. Not to bag on your team or whatever, but they overachieved last year. So this year they've come back to earth a little bit, but they're not far away from being a really good team again. So, they just need a decent draft, get a couple free agents, and they'll be right there.
Yeah, I think Tony hit it on the head. I don't think there's anything wrong with Cam. I think it is just the surrounding talent around him. I mean, I heard a stat the other day that said that last year he may have been hit, say it was 50 times. I can't recall what the exact number was. Well, that was for the entire season. We're halfway through this season, and he's already been hit the equal amount of times as last year. So they're basically projecting that he'll be getting hit twice as much this year as last year. And that kind of shit just sort of not ruins a quarterback, but basically erodes that confidence he has in his O-line, which means he has less confidence in the amount of time he has to throw the ball. And, it just I guess it affects his game. You can understand how that sort of shit would fuck with your head. Not just that. I mean, I think we all agree he's getting a raw deal as well. He's getting really lit up, and he's just not getting the calls or the protection from the refs. So I don't think it's him, dude. I just think it's just an artifact of the year and maybe some of the pieces around him.
I mean, even with Mike Gore out, and Rimmer's shifting, and I mean, they still had Latula. They still got all the big players. Only the real lineman that they lost was on defensive line. I mean, it's the same line from last year. Yeah, they let go of Starr, but they picked up Orr because Orr's supposed to be better, but now he's out. The overachieving, I guess I see what you're saying, because I get it. But
15-1 is like a magical year, and the Super Bowl. But
my thing is, but last year there was a lot more scrambling. You saw him moving out of the pocket much faster, not holding on to the ball as long. This year everything's the opposite. He's holding on to the ball way too long. He's not getting the fuck out of the pocket. And if you watch some of the sacks that he took in the LA game last week, I mean, he just stood there. That one hit, I mean, he just stood there while the guy was like literally right in his face and just took the hit. And I'm like, who the fuck is this quarterback? I mean, where did this come from? I just don't get it. But yeah, I see what you guys are saying. It's something, and like you said, taking those hits, it fucks with your tempo, it fucks with your rhythm, your momentum. It really does take its toll. But I thought that Kim was above and beyond all that. I thought he was,
He's just
super Cam. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, definitely not super. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess the other disappointments there's a huge list.
Yeah.
Maybe another one might be DeAndre Hopkins, maybe, only because there was just huge expectations that the guy would be a number one receiver, that he was quarterback proof, and I was one of the guys that thought that he'd still be able to overcome his quarterback, but it's shown that maybe he can't. He needs a quarterback that's going to target him and throw a reasonable ball. I think he's been pretty disappointing.
So inconsistent. He's not accurate at all. But Hopkins catches everything that goes to him. But I mean, I don't know what the problem is there. It's kind of odd. But he had Brian Hoyer throwing him the ball last year. He had an outstanding year. But I pointed out at the beginning of the year that Brian Hoyer was also the quarterback who made Josh Gordon, the best wide receiver in 2013 too. So I don't know. Maybe Brian Hoyer is not as bad as we want to say he is, but he's not good. But it just shows you that Osweiler sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they screwed up on that one. They gave that dude way too much money, and they're going to pay for it for the next few years. So I know I was leading the train at the beginning of the year on Demaryius Thomas. I won't get into the big argument here, but I thought he'd be a bust, and he's been a wide receiver 2, 3, kind of like I said. He's on pace for just over 1,000 yards and about 6 or 7 touchdowns. It's far from the 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns Kobe and Mike said he'd have.
Here we go. Here we go.
I mean, he's just one person. Okay, I'll admit I'm dead wrong on Melvin Gordon to make him feel better. But Gordon's had a good year fantasy-wise, and I may be the box score hero, but he only had 3 yards of fucking carry. So, I mean, he played outstanding the other week when he had like 200 yards.
3 touchdowns, yeah.
I mean, that was really good, but most of the time he's usually getting 24 carries for 67 yards, and then he saves the day with 2 touchdowns because he's getting goal line carries. But I guess I was wrong on Gordon. He's been a solid running back 1 this year. Eddie Lacy, been trash. He got hurt.
No.
He got hurt, and
Adrian Peterson got hurt.
He won't be back in Green Bay.
No.
His time there is over.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of players. Even Doug Martin's been atrocious. He got paid, and then he's done nothing. So, I mean, admittedly, it's a hamstring injury, and the reality is these running backs, man, they need those legs. You can't go on the field with a hamstring that's, say, 70 or 80%.
Yeah.
So I can understand him being out for an extended period of time. But his team needs him. Yeah.
There's another name that I just thought of. Jarvis Landry in Miami. He hasn't done nothing this year.
Yeah.
Who else? There's a lot of guys.
There's heaps. I mean, you could throw in Michael Floyd. The guy's in a contract year. What's he doing?
Oh, yeah. Goddamn. I heard he's like the 4th receiver now. I heard what's his face jumped him on the depth chart. Nelson.
J.J. Nelson.
Yep.
So yeah, he's another guy. He's going to be a
little skinny dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DGB still disappointing. Nelson Aguilar. The list goes on and on.
Those two were expected. Fucking Kobe Fleener, man. I expected so much more from him. I expected Drew Brees to throw to him 50 fucking times a game the way they were hyping him up, and he's barely getting He's barely getting five attempts, eight attempts a game.
If that, I thought he'd be almost kind of like Jimmy Graham was over there. He's not as good as Jimmy Graham actually, but I thought he'd have a lot of production because the Saints throw the ball 700 times a year. So,
which is why I picked him up, and that I had all my hopes and dreams in him because he was being hyped up, so I didn't worry about another tight end, and totally got fucked.
Well, if we flip the script and say who are like the most overachieving guys this year, guys who been better than we thought.
DeMarco Murray. That's all day long. All day long. Him and Matt Forte, both of those guys. I mean, they were sitting there talking about Forte is supposed to be going down. He's injury prone.
Him and Murray,
exactly. And we even Tony. I remember you talking about him. You were like, "Oh, he's not going to do shit. He might start off."
I thought Murray would be good for the first half of the year. He'd get hurt, and then Henry would take over. And Murray's looked good this year. So I mean, Tennessee's got a pretty decent line though. So and Mariota helps him a little bit because he's a running quarterback and he can sling it a little bit. But Murray's definitely overachieved. He done way better than I thought he would.
I'd be almost scared. I'm almost scared to say that Tennessee's O-line is just as good as Dallas's O-line.
That's not good. But let's not get carried away. I was gonna say my overachiever would be probably Melvin Gordon. The dude, he's probably top 3 in running backs so far this year, but that's a lot to do with there's nobody else behind him on the depth chart. So, I don't think San Diego trusted him to begin with in the beginning of the year, and now they have to trust him because there's no one else behind him.
They've got no other choice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and he's
responded well though. So he converts those goal line touches. He's become a bit of a receiving back as well. So he's done whatever the team's needed. So I guess they've shown confidence in him and he's repaid them. So
all right, Anthony.
I had some other names.
Who's your overachiever? Come on, let's hear it.
I know who it is.
No, well, if we stick with the running back theme, how about I throw out these names? LeGarrette Blount, Isaiah Crowell. And if I go to the wide receivers.
I'm waiting for you to say your boy.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
I know. He's on the list.
Come on, say him.
He's on the list. Well, yeah, of course. I'm going to say Matt Ryan. But with all of that, get the confetti out.
Matt Ryan's probably the MVP of the league right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
But, there's plenty of time for him to fuck it up like
You've been calling this all year. You've been waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. I mean, it's what he does. Even if that team makes the playoffs and they have a bye week going into the playoffs, they're going to get smashed the first week of the playoffs because that's what he does.
God, Tony can just jinx a fucking team with
who knows, mate? Who knows? We're going to have to record and keep this video and replay it when Matt Ryan is hoisting up the Super Bowl trophy at the end of this.
It'll be in the archives. It'll be in the archives.
I will be eating some crow if fucking Matt Ryan wins the Super Bowl. No one is ifs and buts about that. But
definitely
he's definitely been the MVP so far through the first half of the year. He's been really good.
Yeah, he has. He's been good. But I think Melvin Gordon's the biggest surprise for sure.
Stafford. He's been pretty good. He's not MVP good, but he's been good. Obviously, nobody saw fucking Dak doing what he's doing.
No, that's true.
And I don't know who else got. Fucking the Kansas City running back. Ware.
Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware.
I mean, he's been fucking pretty good.
He's been on a down slope though the past couple of weeks, but
yeah, he got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah,
Been injured. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of names, for sure. Have you guys got anyone on your roster that would constitute like a player that's just come out of nowhere that you've picked up and done well?
Have you
Like
seen?
I've written,
You
like
see
I've
my
written-
total scores during the fucking week? I don't have.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to get the points that I've been getting with the guys that I've got.
Okay. Okay. Okay, because I've suggested some names. I thought Jack Doyle, whoever's got him, is probably doing quite well.
Marzilli has him.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. Obviously, Dak Prescott came out of nowhere. He's done really well. So whoever's got him is probably feeling really good because he would have come with a very low sort of draft investment. Did you pick him up, Tony?
I drafted him.
Of course he
You
fucking
prick.
did.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I threw out two other names, but they're kind of like on the low end. There's Jordan Howard, the running back for the Bears. Tyrell Williams done okay.
Yeah, Jordan Howard's done really well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how about the Redskins, man? I mean, they are. I didn't see them doing this
They won the
well.
division last year, but they're not going to win it this year. I can tell you that.
We'll see. I'm actually going to that game on the 19th, the Monday night game. I've already got the tickets.
Oh, yeah. Redskins and Panthers.
Yeah, should be fun. It's gonna be cold as shit, but
Yeah. The Cowboys. I like usually going to the Thanksgiving Day game because it's a game that you can go to and you can come home the next day and not have to worry about work or whatever.
yeah,
Usually have a 4-day weekend.
yep.
They play the Redskins, but I'm not gonna go. But yeah. What else do we got?
That's it as far as the list goes. I'm looking at the other list that Tony did, that Anthony did. Biggest surprise, biggest fail. Only thing left is the draft do-over and then early stage MVP, which we kind of already talked about, right?
Yeah.
With Matty
We don't have
Ice.
We don't have to do the do-over if you guys don't want to. It's not a big deal. Happy to talk about whatever.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Let me just ask you a question while you're thinking about it. Who do you reckon takes the AFC South? Texans, Colts, Titans, or Jags? I know it's a shitty division.
Man, that's a terrible division.
It's not good.
It's maybe between the Colts and the Titans.
I was actually going to say the Texans.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're also shit. I mean, the Jags are
was gonna say-
clearly out of it.
The Jags are horrible. I can't believe how bad they are. I really thought they were going to be an up-and-coming team this year.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles has come back. He's another one we can talk about a bust.
That's right.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson, Allen Hearns.
Yeah, but did you hear what they when they played their early game in London, where they said? I mean, he specifically said that he has been off since week 1, and that it's probably going to take him, sometime in the off season to get back to where he has been. I mean, he admitted that, I couldn't believe it.
Well, I tell you what, he's going to get his coach fired. His coach should have been fired about 3 weeks ago, but I guess they're going to let him finish out the year. But that's a team definitely firing their coach at the end of the year. But I thought maybe Houston because they still got talent, but Osweiler's so bad it hurts.
Yeah, he's dragging it down big time.
Yeah, and the Colts are just bad team all the way around, except for Andrew Luck. And Luck can't do everything. The guy, he's another guy that just takes a goddamn beating.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute, man. They got Frank Gore, dude. Frank Gore's been carrying that team too.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks, but
Everybody's been waiting for him to come back down to earth too, but he's been consistent.
yeah, he's like, what, 33, 34 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Moncrief just came back to help them out, but their defense is horrible. I know they just beat Green Bay, but Green Bay is another team that's been underachieving. And Aaron Rodgers just isn't the same guy.
He doesn't have that. Yeah, so whenever you see him do those Hail Mary throws or those big long passes, you expect to see somebody at the other end catching that ball, like last year with Rodgers at the other end of every fucking one of the passes. This year, it hasn't been that way. There's that magic just doesn't seem to be there with that team.
Aaron Rodgers is always the guy who's fucking with the snap count, trying to get the guys to jump off sides so he can have a free play and throw a bomb and complete a touchdown on a free play or some shit. And he just ain't doing it this year. He's been a little off. But
he's too busy doing Geico commercials with his fucking wedge. Have you seen that? Where not here, not ever.
Yeah, no one comes into that house.
Yeah,
the Cowboys and wax that ass.
He's too busy swatting at flies instead of throwing balls like he should be. But
and his movie star girlfriend that he's boning.
Colby, don't be mad at me, Colby. Don't be mad.
I was just going to say.
So
we're all putting it on Aaron Rodgers. You don't think it's the guys around him as well, or?
Yeah, it's probably those guys around him. I hadn't really looked at him close. I hadn't looked at the line close, but I have noticed in his passes and stuff.
You guys haven't seen him since he bumped his head last weekend.
Oh, what's up, man? You okay?
Yeah, we're all right. We got 4 stitches in the noggin.
Wow.
If I had to wear he was wearing the Cowboys jersey and couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, he was.
See?
It's Brutus. Brutus is next.
It's Brutus.
What's up, Brutus?
You poor suffering beast.
Poor suffering beast.
We'll rescue you, buddy. Just hang in there.
You want to go to Australia? I'll put you in a box. I'll poke holes in it so you can breathe, and we'll send you on the journey to Australia.
It's like, as long as you fill that box up with treats, I don't give a shit what you do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny shit. Oh, well. So Tony, you got to be feeling good about your Cowboys, huh?
Yeah,
7-1.
I don't feel good about tomorrow's game, though. But I think Big Ben might have his fucking way with us tomorrow. Because Pittsburgh got humiliated last week against Baltimore. So they're going to be angry. They're playing at home. And our secondary's in shambles right now. So I'm a little worried about Antonio Brown and them guys going off on us tomorrow, Le'Veon Bell. But, if we can control the clock like we have been doing, and Elliott runs the ball well and Dak don't make any turnovers, they'll have a chance.
He's only got 1 this season, right? Or 2?
Who, Dak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has 2 interceptions.
He's only got 2 this season. So, I mean, that's really, really good for a rookie. I mean,
Elliott will break the record more likely tomorrow for most rush yards by a Cowboys rookie. He's going to do it in the 10th week of the season or whatever already. He's going to get about 1,700 yards. The record for rookies is Eric Dickerson at 1,803, I think. I don't know if he's going to get that far, because I think by the end of the year, if the Cowboys are still playing really well, they're going to start resting him. more
For the
and more.
playoffs, yeah, which is smart.
Okay.
They'll need to do that.
I don't see him getting 24 touches a week anymore. It'd be more like last week against the Browns. They got up big, and basically you didn't see Elliott in the second half. It was all Alfred Morris.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thrilled with the Cowboys so far, but, man, I've been a Cowboys fan long enough to know to temper the expectations right now. And much as I talk about Matt Ryan and the Falcons, my Cowboys have done the same thing over the last 20 years. So I'll just ride it out for now. See what happens. You got your good old ball club, Anthony, your 49ers. You have going to have the second pick in the draft. Unless Cleveland somehow wins. Cleveland's fucking terrible.
They've got to win one game, surely.
I don't
Don't you
know.
think?
0-10. That's the worst. That's the worst start in franchise, actually in any franchise history. I don't think there's ever been a team to ever go 0-10 in the first 10
The
weeks
thing
of
about it-
NFL.
Fucking Detroit Lions went 0-16. Like, what? How many years back was that? The Lions went 0-16 one year.
Oh, okay, so I misheard it. Then it was it was franchise history, not
Yeah, for
NFL.
franchise history. They're bad. They are really bad. I didn't watch that game the other night. There's no way I was going to put myself through that misery.
Nah.
No, I watched it up until right before The Walking Dead, and then I switched it
I think
over.
I went to bed at 8 o'clock that night.
Nah, fuck that. I didn't even bother.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Brown is they seem to have some pretty good pieces, wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah,
They got some reasonable receivers. Yeah.
Pretty good
Corey
receiver.
Coleman. Yeah. They've got Jake Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, who aren't exactly scrubs. They're okay. I'm not sure what their defense is like because I'm not really good at defensive players, but if you ask,
They just traded for Jamie Collins, and they're going to have to give that dude.
oh yeah, Patriots, yeah.
but that was one of those teams, like we said, just like with the Cat. Well, okay, so I've got to eat crow on that. We talked about teams that totally go to shit if they lose their QB. We talked about Pittsburgh being one. We talked about Dallas being the other. Cleveland, unfortunately, was one of those other teams. I mean, even though it was he's not a rookie quarterback, but I mean, he had the opportunity to prove himself, and now he's out. Of course, we're talking about RG3. I got to eat crow on Dallas, though. I mean, with Romo going out,
Everybody's eating on that one because everybody said if Romo goes down, the season's over.
right,
We all seen what last year was like.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Last year was just tough to watch, and then this year, Romo got hurt, and it's like, I didn't think Dak Prescott was going to be as good as he is. Nobody did. I thought he was a better version of Tim Tebow coming out of college. He was going to need a year or two to learn the pro system, and he's done really good.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where
Yeah.
Tony Romo, who was probably a top 10 or top 12 quarterback in the league, doesn't even have a fucking job anymore. So, it is what it is.
Well, those are good problems to have, I suppose, when you're winning.
Yeah, well, like I said, if they lose tomorrow, I'll put my money that Romo's the quarterback the week after.
You think so?
That's what they're waiting on. That's what Jerry loves Romo. And Jerry doesn't I know Jerry came out and said like a week or so ago that if they were to win the Super Bowl this year without Romo, if Prescott was to win the Super Bowl, Jerry said he'd be a little bit disappointed that Romo didn't do it.
But but that begs the question. So do the fans dictate which quarterback starts because they're having the same problem with what's his name in LA? The fans are clamoring for that fucking rookie over there.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
That's the question. Do fans dictate which QB start, whether it be from rookie to pro?
The one who pushes for it, and they put pressure on these teams. The play, like Jared Goff ain't ready to play yet. He just isn't, and Jeff Fisher knows it. And if Jeff Fisher puts Jared Goff out there and Jared Goff gets wrecked in his first game where he takes 6 sacks and throws 3 interceptions, the whole media is going to say, he sucks. And they traded away all these draft picks for this guy, and he sucked. And then I got to let all that negativity in, and Jeff Fisher will get fired, and Jared Goff will already be wrecked, and it's a wash. You just let that dude ride the bench this year.
But wouldn't you rather know this year as opposed to trotting him out next year and have him throw a shitload of picks in the first 4 games? Wouldn't you rather do it this year? The season's fucked anyway.
No.
Let him learn something. I know. I can understand you don't want to expose him and create some some backlash in relation to the fans and the media, but I don't know. I kind of think you've drafted this guy. You've given him 10 weeks to sit and learn. At some point, you're gonna have to give him some proper game time. I don't know. I'd be tempted to give him a game or 2 this year and say, right, take that learning, and we're going to get better for next year.
But then they put him out there, and then the first play, they snap his fucking leg off. I mean, they've spent all that money for what? Just to see if he could throw in the last 4 games? I mean,
yeah, but that could happen to any player, dude. At any time, it's football,
That's true, but you have to. It's risk reward, right? I mean, where's the reward in risking your franchise QB, just to see if he could play? I mean, you could see if he could play out on the fucking practice field during the week, right? I mean, you put him out in the game, man.
The media hasn't seen him. The coaches have seen him.
Right.
So, I mean, I'd take Jeff Fisher at his word. I wouldn't put him out there. I don't care what the media says.
That HBO thing that, they were doing, the Hard Knocks or whatever, they featured the Rams this year. And, I mean, he said it multiple times. I mean, they talked about it on that show. He's not ready for it. I mean, if he was ready, we'd put him out, but he's just not ready for it. I mean, that's what he was telling all of his little, his assistant coaches and all that stuff, because it come up. It kept coming up. Should we start him? Do we need to start him? And, Fisher was just like, fuck you guys. No, we're not going to start him. He's not ready. You've seen him out there.
The Rams is they don't have a first-round pick. They traded it away. So, obviously, that's probably going to be a top 10, top 12 pick that they gave to, Tennessee, right?
I don't know who they gave it to. I mean, but they've got Tavon Austin. They've got
but he's little. He's not they need a playmaking receiver like an AJ Green type, or a guy like that. And they got a few of those guys coming out in the draft next year. They got the kid from USC. They got the kid from LSU looks good. Dupree.
There's a few. There's Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Williams, Corey Davis.
Mike Williams.
There's a few. Yeah.
The kid from Alabama, I think he's a sophomore, so I don't think he's coming out this year. Number 3, I can't remember his guy.
But that is an interesting concept, though, just to see the difference between the 3 of us, is that Anthony is willing to go for the gusto. He's willing to put that risk out there on a franchise QB, a multi-million-dollar QB, whereas you and I both are a bit more conservative. We're like, we better not tempt fate there. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony's like, fuck it, balls to the walls. Hey, let's go. And I mean, that's the same similarities. Look at Pittsburgh's coach versus Dallas's coach. And watch, especially this game coming up this weekend, and watch the risk reward. I mean, it's very interesting.
Jason Garrett's shown a little more balls of late, but yeah, he's very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin, he's a guy who goes for it more often. But I'll also say this about the rookie wage scale is Jared Goff's not making a ton of money like Sam Bradford did when he was the first pick, and he got $50 million guaranteed. See, when you get all that money up front, then you expect them to come out and, okay, we're paying you like a top 10 quarterback. You better start producing like a top 10 quarterback.
That's the whole point of having the franchise tags, right?
Yeah, they're not paying him, $4 million a year right now. Let him sit back and learn and get comfortable before you throw him in the fire pit and see what happens. I
I mean,
mean,
Jesus, dude, could you imagine making $4 million, $5 million, and all you got to do is just sit on your ass and learn a playbook? I mean, that's amazing to me, man. That is just utterly amazing to me.
I mean, I would be a clipboard Jesus. Like, what's that one? what's that guy's name? They call him clipboard Jesus.
Charlie Whitehurst. Yeah.
That's it. There you go. Makes $1 million a year to sit there and hold a clipboard. It doesn't do shit.
Jesus.
You know, he doesn't even have to practice.
Can you believe? Are you watching this Clemson Pitt game, Tony?
Right now, I have LSU and Arkansas on.
You really need to. It's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Clemson is only up by 2 points.
This is the game that came on after the Ohio State game, I'm assuming. Ohio State was up like 45-3 last I've noticed.
And Texas Tech is having its way with Oklahoma State. Well, no, never mind. It's 45-44. My bad.
Did Texas lose today?
I don't think they played yet. I think
They played West Virginia. What was the score of the Texas game?
Which Texas? Texas narrowly lost to West Virginia
they lost.
today.
They lost to West Virginia. Holy shit.
That coach is going to get fired.
Mm.
But,
Hey, do you want me to stop this broadcast now, or what do you want to do?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
We can bullshit if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get dinner going here in just a minute. Anyway, thanks, guys. On behalf of everybody in League of Titans, thanks for listening, watching. We really do appreciate it. We tried to keep the awards positive. We didn't want to go negative on anything.
Put them up for poll. That way
don't forget about the poll.
Everyone can have a say. Yeah.
There you go.
I'll try to do that tonight or some shit.
Thanks, guys.